Welcome back to Storm Alley Wellness with week 4 of our Sun Salutation A practice. Come practice with me. We're going to start at the head of our mat. I'm so glad you're here. First flow now, we're just going to inhale up, exhale, bring those hands to our heart center. Namaste, friends. Inhale up, exhale down. We're going to be a little quick with it after this first flow, but this first one, take all the time you need. Pause it if you've got to. Inhale up to that halfway lift. Exhale all the way down to the chaturanga. If you can do a full plank, great. Otherwise, you can be on your knees like me. Inhale, upward dog. And we're going to exhale into that downward dog, first downward dog of our practice tonight. And you don't have to be doing this on Tuesday, obviously. I was late getting to the gym today. Pedal those feet out for this downward dog. Really feel the rooting of your feet into the mat. Really feel that stretch in the backs of your legs. Make some space there. We're going to bring our foot forward for crescent lunge. And we're going to inhale up. It's okay if you're a little wobbly. Make a nice long inhale to get those hands overhead, and then exhale into that lunge. Really feel that stretch in that back leg, that front of your hip, that hip flexor muscle. Take a couple of breaths here, and then we're going to exhale back into that downward dog. And we will take a couple of breaths in down dog again. We really want to have that nice neutral spine, head between our arms. Bring your foot forward again now for crescent lunge. It's okay to exhale to get your foot into place, but inhale as you come up and bring those arms up overhead, those hands coming up to the ceiling, reaching for the sky. We're going to take a couple of breaths here, exhaling to deepen into that stretch, inhaling to make some space, and we'll exhale back into that downward dog. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that crescent lunge is always a bit of a challenge. We're going to inhale into upward dog. We'll exhale back into chaturanga just to try it out. I inhale here to kind of a tabletop position before I exhale into downward dog, because we always exhale into downward dog. We'll take a breath in and then exhale to bring our feet forward to the head of the mat again. And then we'll inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to that nice forward fold. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring those hands down to heart center. We're going to catch our breath here. I don't know about you, but it really brings my heart rate up. We're going to bring hands overhead on that inhale. Exhale down. That was nice and slow, so we don't have to catch our breath too much. But as we go here, we might have to do a little more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale all the way down to that chaturanga. Try to keep your head up. It's a bit of a challenge for me still, but I'll get there. Inhale, upward dog. Excuse me. Exhale to downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here, 1 or 2. Really feel that down dog alignment. And inhale in one breath now, foot into position and all the way up into that crescent lunge to exhale into that stretch. And oh God, I just love that hip flexor stretch. We're going to exhale back into downward dog. Delicious. Just feel those muscles. Feel your breath. Feel yourself in the space. We're going to inhale into crescent lunge on the other side. Exhale into that stretch. Oh, really feel it, yeah. Take a breath here to make space, and we'll exhale back down into that downward dog. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Always have your fingers spread. Inhale to upward dog, and we're going to just exhale back into downward dog, because that chaturanga didn't really work for me that first time. If it worked for you to do chaturanga and tabletop, you can do that too, but for the rest of our practice here, we will just go upward dog to downward dog at the end of the flow here. Exhale to bring your feet all the way to the head of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale down to forward fold. And you'll inhale to bring your hands overhead and exhale back to heart center. You don't have to keep up with my voice. I'm a little delayed for the video here just because I'm chatting with you and adding a bit of, just chatter. Let you know that I'm a human being. Into our third flow here. Same routine. If you're practicing with me, if you've been practicing with me, you know what to do by now. Getting down into that chaturanga, we're going to inhale. This is our third floor. We are doing one breath, one movement. If you can handle that, you should be okay. Nice, quick, smooth, one breath, one movement. We're going to do it again for a fourth flow. So I will just talk you through this one. It's still okay to be a little wobbly. It's still okay to be a little stiff. Look at that. I stumbled a little bit. We're inhaling into that crescent lunge, exhaling, really deepen that stretch. Inhale and then exhale again to that downward dog. We're reaching the end of our third flow. We're going to inhale to up dog, exhale back to down dog. Take a breath here, inhale, and then when we exhale again, we're going to walk our feet all the way forward into that forward fold. Inhale into that upward half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring those arms all the way up overhead again, reach for the sky, and exhale, bring your hands heart center. Catch your breath. You've done 3 rounds now. I don't know about you, but at this point, my calves are burning. I can feel them. So I'm just breathing here, feeling myself rooted in the mat before I inhale and bring my hands up again and down in with my exhale to that forward fold. This is our 4th flow. We're doing 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale all the way down into that chaturanga. It's okay to be on your knees. I still am. Inhale, halfway upward dog. Excuse me. Normally I would just like edit that out, but we're going to exhale to that downward dog. Take a breath in downward dog and inhale into that crescent lunge. Exhale into that stretch. And then we're going to inhale, and on our next exhale, we will come back down into that downward dog. 1 breath in downward dog. On our next inhale, we are coming up into the crescent lunge on the other side. Exhale to get that stretch in the hip flexor. Inhale, and on our next exhale, come back down into that downward dog. 1 more time. This is going to be our last upward dog on our next inhale here. As we exhale, we're going right back into that downward dog. We're going to take 1 breath in. And on our final exhale, we're going to walk all the way back up to the head of our mat in that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way back up, arms overhead, reach for the sky. Exhale, palms, heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me.